Everybody, and thank you for coming to making history with us for the grand opening of the Flint Community Lab. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the participants who are here. Thank you to everybody who donated to help us get this lab up and running. We really appreciate it. This dream has been in the making for over a year now, and it's finally coming true. So, Evergreen Community Development Initiative was born in 2014, September of 2014. It started at a small little church down the street called Evergreen Missionary Baptist Church, where a whole bunch of little old ladies and a young man who had a dream of reaching outside of the church and reaching the community through a community development program. So we arrived at our 501c3 in 2015, and we began to dream about the Flint Development Center. So upon our opening in June of 2017, we have served more than 12,000 families. We've fed them, we've played with their kids, we've gave them literacy, and we now are going to build trust in this community by opening the first of its kind, a community water lab. So with that being said, I want to introduce all of the people, the youth that are part of this big program. I want to introduce them and let you all know that it's not just the adults that made this happen, it's also our youth team. And so with that being said, I want to introduce, first of all, over here, this is Dominique Strong. She's our outreach coordinator for the youth lab. She has put together a team of youth that we have piloted a program with them in 2018. We piloted a program with the youth, and we went and we taught them how to go out and test water, and they came back and we tested water and we gave the results to the community. And so this youth team right here is our youth team. We have about 8 of them. They're not all here because we can't fit them all in the picture because COVID. And so these guys over here are our chemist team and our lab techs that we have. Also, there's 3 groups of youth that benefits from this lab. We also have a pre-apprentice construction program, which this young lady right here is a part of. They are responsible for this all happening. They built this lab from rehabbing an old elementary school into now what we call our community lab. And so with that in mind, I want to introduce Alex. Alex has a little presentation. We kind of snuck this in on you guys. So Alex, you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Shelley. As a token of appreciation for all the effort that a lot of people have put in, we would like to present Thermo Fisher Scientific and Freshwater Future with these 2 lab coats, each made through recycled plastic water bottles.
So with that being said, there's nothing that can happen without the community and without the help of all of our donors and all of our funders, our sponsors, and of course, all of our volunteers. This lab could not have happened without all of the community involved in it. And so we want to just really say thank you and thank you and thank you and thank you. And that's all we can say about that. So now I'm going to introduce Michael Harris, who is part of the Dream Team. He started out, we met Michael Harris as we were purchasing the Old Bunch Elementary School. And he had ideas about, he started out in sports and then some kind or another, he wind up in environmental. I knew nothing about environmental when we first started. And so Mike said, I do. So he's always had a dream about getting the kids out fishing, doing all kinds of things in the environmental. So I'm going to introduce you real quick to Michael Harris.
Thank you, everybody, and welcome to the Flint Development Center. This is our wonderful space that we have turned into this wonderful jewel in this community. The Flint Development Center is just a part of this, but the McKenzie Patrice Croom lab is one of the major parts of this thing that we're running here. This lab will offer young people a chance to become lab techs, chemists, to give them new career paths in what we're going forward with in Flint, Michigan. Now, on the north side of Flint, a lab, right? On the north side of Flint, we have a lab, a full-fledged lab. This lab is top-notch. We don't spare any expense here. We have top-notch equipment. We're going to be able to test your water and give you results from this lab. You'll be able to get your water tested in this lab for free. and that'll be offered to the Flint residents. We want to really thank some of our other partners, the Mott Foundation, the Hagerman Foundation, Freshwater Future, and so many other community activists and others that have helped us. Like Shelley was saying before, this lab started with a concept. It was worked out, and our concept was just a few young people led by Latia Leonard, wherever she is. She's gone on to better things now and other things. And Latia worked with those young people. We worked with Wani Oliveras and those young people from her organization. And that organization with the Latino kids, African-American kids, kids from the east side, west side, and all over Flint came together to do something wonderful. We found that aspect to be something great. The pilot program was wonderful. And once we started working with the pilot program, we figured out, man, this could be something, we could do this. We could do this thing right in the city of Flint and on the north side of Flint. So what we did at that point is got together. Shelley will tell you, we fought, dragged, begged, borrowed, and did everything we could to get this lab here in Flint. Some people said it couldn't be done, but it's here. It's now, and it's for you. It's for everybody in the Flint community and beyond. And we want to be the template for everyone else to understand what's happening here. If we can do it here in Flint, Michigan, if we can empower ourselves here in Flint, Michigan, we can do it anywhere across the world. We can do this lab in Detroit. We can do it in Benton Harbor where they're having issues. We can do it in Toledo where they're having issues with water, and across your city too. So I want to welcome you to the Flint Development Center, a first of its kind in the nation, probably anywhere in the world, and we want to do this right here. Shelley, you want to come back up? Well, what's that? Okay. And definitely want to thank some of our other partners, Jill Ryan from Freshwater Future and others who are going to be on. And Jill's coming up next. All right. And to my sister Jill, let me explain who Jill is real quick, if you got a second. Jill is this wonderful young lady from Petoskey, Michigan. She sat next to me at this dinner one time. We just happened to be sitting next to each other, and we were bumping knees. I'm kind of tall, so I was bumping her knee, and we're eating. And we just hit it off right then and there. And she started talking about different ideas. I'm always dreaming in the clouds like Walt Disney or something. And we came together talking about this lab. They had one in Petoskey, and I'm thinking like, well, why can't we have one in Flint? And Jill, to her wonderful benefit, worked like you wouldn't believe to make this happen. So I've just got to thank Jill Ryan, my sister, my friend, my family, and I'm going to give this over to my buddy, Jill Ryan.
Thank you so much, Mike. I just am so pleased and proud to be at this moment where we're opening this lab. It's an amazing partnership that Freshwater Future has been able to create with Flint Development Center, all the great people there like Mike and Shelley, as well as many other partners in Flint that really helped both with the initial pilot program, but also have helped ever since to make sure we were putting forward a lab that would help the residents of Flint. Freshwater Future learned a great deal from the residents of Flint. That was one of the first things that we did with Flint Development Center, was listen to the youth, listen to the elders, listen to a whole host of residents in Flint who told us that one of the key things we had to do was make this multi-generational. And so that's why you see youth at the forefront of this program, because they're the future of not only the city of Flint, but our nation and our world. And we wanted to integrate multiple generations so that the youth in Flint are going out and helping their grandparents, their parents, and families understand what's so important here to know about the water in Flint and beyond. And so it's such a great pleasure to be part of this program. We are very proud and humbled to be partners. One of the things, once we listened to the community, is that we wanted to find some things to help people trust their water again. Because as we stood in the Flint Development Center building, we knew that kids were very traumatized by the water crisis. And we wanted to help community members design their own solutions. They didn't create this problem, but Flint is very resilient. Its residents are extremely resilient. And so we knew that a solution had to come from the residents. And that's what we were able to do here with the partnership with Flint Development Center and many others. One thing I want to mention is that this is really a citizen science project. This is not just about taking a sample and sending your water to an unknown lab. This is residents taking multiple samples potentially from their own tap, bringing it down to the Flint Development Center, to the community water lab, and being able to see that sample be analyzed, to talk to the local residents who actually do the analysis of their water, and be able to then figure out, do I need to change anything in my home? Should I be changing taps? Do I have an issue with pipes? So this goes beyond the whole system of Flint that was harmed, but now into individual homes. As the system begins to heal and continues to heal, we want to make sure that residents have trust in their individual tap. So that's what this program is all about, and using citizen science and youth initiative to do that. Also, Shelley talked a little bit about workforce development. That has been a key to this project throughout, and both in the construction, in the initial pilot, all of those things have been led by our youth, who are learning so much about how to participate in these careers, how to teach others, how to participate in science, how to work in the trades. So we're so happy that this is going to be a long-term work development project for the city of Flint and the residents. Finally, the key to developing this program from day one has been building trust. And that's trust that's earned. Earned because you can see from your individual water test results what is happening in your home at your tap. And that's where we really learned we needed to go. That while the system is one thing as a whole, that's what the city and state are taking care of. Individual homes have to be safe and secure and have access to clean, trusted water. And so that's what the lab is going to do. We're so excited to begin that testing process. And we're so excited to have partners like Fisher Scientific, Thermo Fisher Scientific, that has donated the equipment, Nalgene that has donated bottles, a host of philanthropic funds from C.S. Mott Foundation to Ruth Mott Foundation to the Joyce Foundation, and many more that you'll hear about. All of this has come together so that this program can offer residents the opportunity to trust their water through a testing program that is at no cost to them. So we thank all of those entities that have helped to make this happen. From my perspective, I am just so pleased to see this grand opening, and so humbled to have been a part of it, and also to have been able to partner with these amazing residents of Flint. Thank you again, and we'll be here. We won't be leaving. We'll be here to help as the future goes forward.
Okay. All right, so now we wanted to just show you a couple of pictures. For those of you who could not be on site because of COVID, we want to show you a couple of pictures about the center. This picture right here is when we first started in 2018. This is our first youth organized team. They went out and they learned about the water all summer long. They actually went out and was able to collect water samples. They also trained the neighbors in the community on how to use their water filters, the proper use of the water filters, the proper water temperature for the water samples, and how to actually collect their water samples. So now we're going to show you a couple of pictures of inside the lab. So these pictures right here show you a picture of inside the lab and all the hard work that our youth pre-apprentice program has done to get this lab up and running. And that's a mural. We also have a mural on the wall with all of the funders who participated in helping us get this lab up, that we wanted to thank them by painting a picture on the wall with their names on it. And then we have a picture inside the lab. This is one of the rooms inside the lab, how it actually looks, where all the machines run. And of course, our chemist team that we have, our lab techs are here. They are interns from the University of Michigan biochemistry department, and they are learning how to actually work in the community and how to test water samples. This is part of our youth team, one of our youth coordinators for the water lab, and he's in there showing you how we get started when we test in the water. And this is a piece of our equipment that we use. Don't ask me the name of the equipment. I just know it's an equipment. All right. So our next, and this is one of our chemist interns as well, Levi. So as you can see, we are a multicultural group that that unites the community. That's what this community center is all about. It's all about uniting the community and giving them power to take care of their own issues. We're teaching our community one step at a time how to stand up for yourself, take your own life in your control, and to do something about it. All right, so with that said, we have Mayor Neely is going to come up next. Mayor Neely has been a part of this team before he was even the mayor. He took an intricate part in literacy in our community. He helped us to start our first literacy lab here. And so with that being said, we thought it would be befitting that the mayor, the now mayor of the city of Flint, speaks about how this community lab will aid in this community. Thank you. Mayor Neely.
Well, thank you, Shelley, and good morning to all of you, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of this tremendous moment inside of our city. And I would be remiss if I did not say something about this being a great gift from God. You know, when we look at partnerships and we look at things that's going to be fruitful for our community, we got to look at prayer, plan, and partnership. And that's what we have here. We have a lot of great partners here adding ingredients to this recipe that's going to be benefiting all of the residents inside the city of Flint, and it's going to have a successful outcome. And I want to thank the Freshwater Futures, the Flint Development Centers, Shelley Sparks, Michael Harris, Jill, and also our philanthropic partners, you know, with the Mott Foundation and also the Ruth Mott Foundation. All of these ingredients have been placed here with our young people to provide a level of confidence for Flint residents inside the city. So with that said, thank you, Flint Development Center. Thank you to all of our partners. Thank you on behalf of the residents of the city of Flint, and also for all of us that's moving forward, trying to reestablish a level of trust because of the water crisis. And adding this independent third-party testing lab is going to help restart this community on a great pathway to success. And also engaging our youth. The future belongs to our young people. And in this community, we talk about leaving the victim's mindset, becoming a victor. And this Freshwater Futures Testing Lab is going to establish just that for us. And I say, in service to one another, we all become better. And so thank you all. God bless. Prayer, plan, and partnership. On behalf of the residents of the city of Flint, thank you, Shelley Sparks. Thank you, Flint Development Center. Thank you, Freshwater Future, and thank all of our philanthropic partners.
Thank you, Mayor. And I didn't thank you, Jill, but you know you thank so much for all the things that you do. Thank you, Mayor, for that wonderful speech. Thank you for encouraging us to pray. Thank you for encouraging us to take one step at a time to help heal our community. Next, I'm going to introduce to you a man who has done a lot of things in this community. Without this foundation, a lot of the things that have grown and spurted out of this water crisis would not have happened if it had not been for this foundation. So I want to introduce to you the president and the CEO of the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation, Ridgway White.
Thank you, Shelley. It's great to be with you today, and just so inspiring what you've done with this lab and the youth. I love seeing the youth, and it makes it all the more challenging not to be here. So thank you, Shelley, Michael, and Jill for what you're doing to inspire the Flint community and across the country. So very exciting. You know, at the Mott Foundation, we've said since the early days that the Flint water crisis, the biggest challenge would be rebuilding trust in the community. Today marks an important step on the journey back to Flint residents being able to trust what they're told about the water flowing out of their taps and into their homes. Charles Stewart Mott believed that every individual exists in a kind of partnership with one's community. He believed that the well-being of every person is connected to the well-being of the community and vice versa. To this day, that belief still drives the Mott Foundation's work here in our hometown and around the world. We support efforts to help individuals and organizations connect with and serve their communities in meaningful ways. There isn't a better example of that than the work being done at the McKenzie Patrice Croom Flint Community Lab. The water testing and community engagement being done through the lab are truly community-led. That's why the Mott Foundation has been so pleased to support the construction and operations of the Flint Community Lab and the Flint Development Center. I'm most inspired by seeing the wonderful young people who want to be a part of restoring trust in our community. Thank you. The work you're doing is so important. We need to have trust to move forward together and create strong community that works for everyone who lives here. I also want to thank Freshwater Future, a longtime Mott grantee, for bringing their expertise to Flint during the water crisis. Last year, Freshwater Future worked with the Flint Development Center to create a youth water testing program. That pilot program was designed to provide trustworthy information about drinking water quality in Flint homes. The work being done at this new lab builds on that program. Finally, I want to thank all of the partners who helped make the Flint Community Lab possible. This is truly an effort of the community, by the community, and for the community. And that is the wonderful basis for building trust. Thank you and congratulations.
All right. Thank you, Ridgeway. That was a wonderful speech. Thank you for helping participate and funding our youth program for a 3-year period. We really appreciate what you have done in this community, and you guys just keep on moving forward and keep Flint moving forward. Thank you so much. Now we're going to talk about some people who have donated the equipment to help get this lab up and running, to help to bridge the gap of trust between the city of Flint and its residents and the governor. So we're going to make sure that we test this water properly and everything comes back good, we hoping, and that we can bridge trust. So through that, we have Thermo Fisher, we have Jerry and Mike, who are here from Thermo Fisher, and their speaker is going to be the president, the senior vice president, and the president of Analytical Instruments, Mr. Daniel Shine. And so I have 2 of the representatives here. They popped in on us. They wanted to see in person how great this is. I'm not sure if you guys want to say anything or you just want to wait for Daniel. Okay, so introducing the senior vice president and the president of Analytical Instruments from Thermo Fisher Scientific, Mr. Daniel Shine.
Thanks, Shelley.
Okay. Can't let him come all the way down. We can't hear Daniel. We apologize. Yeah, he's muted. Okay, well, we're having a little difficulty with Daniel's mic right now, so we're going to bring him back and introduce him again when we are ready to go. Maybe we can have one of the other guys come up and speak if you want to for that piece. Or if not, we can move on to Raquel and come back. All right, so on behalf of the Ruth Mott Foundation, which is one of the greatest foundations that you could ever have in your community, they are so community oriented that they help all of the programs, everybody that they can basically help in this community to stand up and do things for the community. Remember, nonprofits and 501c3s are gap fillers, as I call us, for the things that the major organizations cannot get to. And so it's our duty and our job to fill in and do a good job with helping the community to achieve the goals that is desired from the city of Flint. So with that in mind, I'm going to introduce you to Raquel Thune. He is the president of the Ruth Mott Foundation and who has been in this community doing great work for many, many years. Raquel?
Well, good morning, and thank you, Shelley, for those kind words, and thanks to all of the folks who have spoken and who are going to follow. I am so very proud to be here with all of you as we can finally celebrate this exciting grand opening of the Flint Community Lab. An incredible amount of work went into making this a reality, and I'd like to take another moment to give all the partners a virtual hand clap. The Ruth Mott Foundation became involved with the Flint Development Center over 5 years ago. Around the same time, we made a big shift to focus all of our grant-making resources in North Flint. We wanted to make sure our grants were making a difference. So we employed a very simple method for learning what matters most to North Flint residents. Like what you've heard described by Jill, we listened, and we listened a lot. We listened and we heard that youth matter, that safety matters, that economic opportunity matters, and that neighborhoods matter. So that's what we focused on. When residents told us they value community centers, we set out to strengthen existing centers and help develop others where they were needed the most. You might be able to guess that we supported the Flint Development Center under that strategy, and we're so very happy to be a partner. We believed so strongly in the vision for the Flint Development Center that the foundation supported its construction, and we continue to help fund its general operations today, including this great example of community innovation, the Flint Community Lab. This center and this lab exist because of the community champions here today who knew that residents needed a mechanism for building trust, for sharing critical data and information, and most importantly, for protecting each other. This lab, as you've heard, is about engaging our youth. It's about innovation and excellence. It's about residents and scientists and funders coming together. And at the heart of it, it's about community members looking out for one another. The partners who collaborated to bring this Flint Community Lab to life have created a model here in Flint. And I can only say that if the Flint Development Center is a catalyst for wonderful ideas like this one, I can't wait to see what happens next. Congratulations to Shelley, to Jill, to Mike, Thermo Fisher, all the other partners, CS Mott, and the other funders who are not participating today. Congratulations to all of you. Well done.
Thank you so much, Raquel. You're always so graceful and so beautiful when you're explaining everything that the community foundation, the Ruth Mott Foundation does for our community. Thank you again for that great speech. Now we're going to try to go back to Mr. Daniel Shine from the Thermo Fisher Scientific Group.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect. So thank you so much. It's an honor to be here today. And I look forward to wearing that lab coat with pride. This is an important event for the city of Flint, but it's also important for Thermo Fisher. Our contribution of elemental analysis, instrumentation, and knowledge water bottles to the Flint Community Lab is a direct reflection of our company's values and a great example of our mission in action, which is to enable our customers to make the world healthier, cleaner, and safer. This program enables local youth to address Flint's water challenges with a full-time water testing lab built by and run by community residents. The Flint Community Lab will serve as a great teaching environment, exposing young people to science, community involvement, and environmental advocacy, and revealing to them the exciting world of analytical chemistry. The city of Flint deserves a lot of credit for helping solve their own water crisis with a grassroots effort to build this lab, finding ways to bring additional value by approaching this as a teaching lab, and helping bridge the community trust gap by using local students to go house to house and sample water from faucets. This initiative reflects our mission, but also aligns tightly with our commitment to STEM education. We're proud to see the high school students from Flint conducting the sampling, and the University of Michigan students using our instruments to analyze the water. These students are future scientists who got to learn about the science behind the solution, and exposing them to STEM-related fields is a career option. We value community and routinely donate to grassroots organizations which share our values and have a commitment to a long-term working relationship. Our involvement in this lab doesn't end here today, but starts. We are your partners. We'll be providing ongoing training, installation of the instruments in the lab, maintenance of the instruments, and making sure the lab is accredited. Thermo Fisher's commitment includes products from our laboratory products business, which includes the bottles you saw earlier from Nalgene, which we use for water sample collection, as well as our chromatography and mass spectrometry business for providing the instrumentation. In addition to the many local leaders and government officials you heard from today, I do want to call out some of our colleagues that really made this happen inside the company, including Jerry Holcrest, Matthew Knopp, Dan Quinn, Mike Morges, Chris Vetsky, and Dan Wilson. We could not have accomplished this without their support previously and going forward. So congratulations on the opening of this tremendous lab. I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but I look forward to visiting in the near future. Thank you and congratulations.
All right. Thank you, Daniel, for that wonderful presentation. And thank you for your wonderful donation of all of this equipment that we have in here to do our testing. You know that wouldn't have been possible without it. So I really, really, really want to thank you guys for your kind contribution, because you didn't have to. I'm glad you chose us to do that. And we're holding up our Nalgene bottles. We received 7,000 of these bottles to help with the water testing for 3 years. And so Nalgene is a subsidiary of Thermo Fisher Scientific. And so they just keep giving, and giving. So thank you so very much. Marcia, shout out to you, lady. Thank you so much for these bottles. Okay. So now we want to kind of close out a little bit where we're going to talk about the, Mike is going to introduce all of the speakers and thank all of our funders for participating and just helping us. You guys know I'm fumbling for my words because I try not to cry when I'm thanking all of you guys for this wonderful donation. So here's Mike.
And once again, I know we've said it enough, but we can't thank everybody enough for what's happened here. This is truly a community effort. This is truly effort from everyone that you can imagine. It takes a village to make things like this happen, and the village consists of so many people. And I definitely want to thank our director, Shelley Sparks. I am a part of this, Michael Harris. Jill Ryan, wherever Jill is right now, we love you, Jill. She's the director of Freshwater Future. My brother, the mayor, Sheldon Neely. How you doing, brother mayor? Ridgeway White, thank you so much, sir, for your contribution from the Mott Foundation. Mr. Daniel Shine, we got your mic together, and we want to thank you for those kind words for what was offered there. Also, Raquel at the Raquel Thune at the president, who's president of the Ruth Mott Foundation. Raquel's been working with the Ruth Mott Foundation for so many years, and for her to be the president now, she's been nurturing this thing along. And thank you, Raquel. We love you for that. Also, we've got some wonderful funders, Thermo Fisher, Charles Stewart Mott Foundation, the Joyce Foundation, Elizabeth, wherever you are, how you doing? What's up, Chi-Town? The Hickman Foundation, Crown Foundation, Cedar Tree Foundation, Nalgene, Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and Jim Carney from TCF Bank. We want to thank all our funders, all of the people who came together to help this become this wonderful event that it is. And we're going to keep going forward and making things happen for the city of Flint and the world beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. You're such a great partner most of the time. So now we're going to have our ribbon cutting ceremony to officially open the one-of-a-kind Patrice McKenzie Croom Community Lab. Thank you guys so much. And now we're going to cut the ribbon. I would like the Thermo Fisher guys to come on in and cut the ribbon with us, because you are such a big part of why this is happening. Mike, you want to come up in the middle and cut the ribbon?
Oh, nice.
Or would you guys like to? Yeah.
That mic come up issue.
All right, here we go.
Thank you for the
Okay,
honor.
All right.
Oh boy, this is it. Huh? Good to go?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you. Okay. So thank you guys for sharing this great, momentous, history-making event with us. And we want to just continue on and want to make the city of Flint proud. And we just can't thank you enough. You know me, I'm just full of thank you, thank you, thank yous. And we appreciate everything that you're doing. God bless.